We're always fascinated, exactly how our late and wonderful monarch was able to assess people so quickly. 70 years on the throne had given her a varied insight into the many workings, the psychologies of people. And let's not forget, the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle was no different. So today I thought I'd recount exactly how Meghan got busted by the Queen. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. And as ever, nice to have your company. A lot chillier today as ever. I'd like to share that with you. It's thankfully the snow's disappeared. Someone was asking me the other day about the snow here in London, and I don't know if it's like that in big cities where you are around the world. It tends not to last that long. I think it's the footfall, as they call it. People trudging everywhere. It seemingly just wipes it away quite quickly. Is it the atmosphere? Oh, let's not go there. Climate change. Oh, don't get me going on that. It's frosty reception, though, if you recall, way back on this particular now historical royal visit. These pictures are in fact part of history, whether you like them or not, because this was a bit of breaking news in itself. This was, of course, Meghan Markle, a former cable TV actress, on the royal train with our late and wonderful monarch of 70 years, Her Majesty the Queen. Lots of PR at the time, lots of speculation as to how well they got on. And if you recall, it was interesting to note how Meghan decided to rush that little extra tidbit into the recent Variety magazine piece that she did to plug her podcast to say what a wonderful person the Queen was, even though she left her off that now infamous Vogue issue as Remarkable Women. Yeah. Now, what's interesting here is, as ever, it's always great to look back in history and find out good detail from the people that are now more than open and ready and willing to talk to you about what went on behind the scenes at that event. As ever, we have to say allegedly. But you see, with Meghan Markle, she kind of saw this particular trip to Cheshire in the north of England as really just a kind of publicity, public relations. Now, famously known, Meghan couldn't understand when she popped over to Africa and Australia that all of these people were, well, coming to see her, but seemingly she wasn't being paid. I don't think many people would have paid to see Meghan Markle pre-royal, do you? I'll just leave that one there. But what's interesting as ever is this, because according to a very good source who was on that particular trip, Her Majesty the Queen really did view this as to see exactly how Meghan would react to royal life. This was up in Cheshire, a beautiful part in the north of England, wonderful place in fact. And they were there basically on the request of Her Majesty to join her, which was a huge honour, and they opened a bridge, had lunch in the town hall, all sorts of things, great, wonderful things that royals do as worldwide ambassadors, and in particular here for the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. So how did Meghan react to this trip on the train? Well, according to that good source, she was perfectly well behaved, kind of seemingly enjoyed it, but didn't want to take any direction about royal life, permanently on her phone, and when not on her phone, not necessarily being engaged with people. Did she spend a lot of time with our late and wonderful monarch on the train? Well, no, Her Majesty used that time then to deal with paperwork, always utilising time. She was in another carriage dealing with the business of the day. So effectively, Meghan was left with certain people, ladies in waiting, that type of thing. This particular thing that our late and wonderful monarch picked up. And as ever, you have to admire her astuteness regarding this. It was really all the fact that Meghan, enjoyed the day, but really, according to that very good source, and as ever, allegedly, was perplexed at the point of it, She didn't really understand that she understood, basically, that people were thrilled to see the monarch and her, as she pointed out. But I know. But I think what's interesting here is she didn't understand necessarily royal life. Upon return back to London, Her Majesty the Queen naturally conferred with those in the know. And what was interesting in the outcome of this was there were grave concerns at the very start as to just how dedicated Meghan would be to, the simplistics of royal life, visiting things that are not necessarily red carpet events, big film premieres, launches aimed at you, as we saw with the things like Smart Works and, of course, the cookbook that she got involved with. All of those things were directly regarding Meghan Markle. These particular events were not about her. And as the Queen astutely and as ever, we have to say allegedly, pointed out, that could be a problem for her in the future. As we've often said here on the show, recollections may vary. What a smart and inspired woman our late monarch was. She did apparently set foot forward and have a very quiet word about how this might pan out with the then Prince Harry. But seemingly he said, no, she loves it, ready to give it all up, and wants to be full support moving forward as a full-time working member of the British monarchy. Interesting to note that even Prince Harry couldn't see through this very much at the start of this rather, shall we say, shambolic relationship. But one person who did was our late and wonderful monarch, Her Majesty the Queen. God bless her. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.